Brewin, and I am today talking with Nico Gordon, who is the captain of North Texas Soccer Club, former Birmingham City and Solihull Moors player who moved to the US earlier this year. Currently playing centre half for Montserrat, one of the new recruits under Lee Bowyer, who's had such a huge impact on the side since he's arrived. We're going to talk about Nico's career. We're going to talk about Montserrat, Nico's family on Montserrat. But firstly, can you just tell us how you finished up in the States?
When I was in England, obviously I was playing for Birmingham, and then obviously the manager at Montserrat, Lee Bowyer, he unfortunately left Birmingham, and then ever since he left, I couldn't really obviously get back in the team and build my momentum again. So I was struggling a bit. So then I went on loan to Solihull to get some game time, and unfortunately that didn't go to plan. And obviously I was just there training and not really getting much game time. And through my agency, SMI, they had a link with North Texas and the manager here, John Gore. And luckily I was able to come to the States and obviously be at North Texas now, which I'm really enjoying.
North Texas, for people who don't know, is connected to FC Dallas, isn't it? Which is an MLS team.
It's the MLS Next Pro team of FC Dallas. So it's very close with FC Dallas. FC Dallas players come down and join North Texas to get minutes, and obviously it's like a one big family.
Oh, brilliant. So where do you see your career going now? Is it back to the UK, or do you want to get in the FC Dallas team?
Obviously being here, I want to get in the FC Dallas team. Obviously coming here, it's one of my main focuses, but obviously I never know what will happen with football, and I have to just adjust to what happens in the situation. But for now, I'm just working towards making the playoffs with North Texas and obviously winning the playoffs and seeing what happens from there.
How were you offered the captain? Were you told you'd be captain when you signed?
No, I didn't. So I came here and I just worked hard from the jump. Obviously, I knew this was a big opportunity, and being here on my own as well, I knew I had to focus, and everything was easy, to be honest, to focus and just focus on football. So I think just my personality in training and my quality, everyone could just see I was set for that role. And also my vice captain Kolodi, he's also he helps me a lot as well. He's I think he's 1 year older than me. His birthday was recent, and I think us two in the team, we have a big personality. So it was either going to be me or him, and I got to be main captain, unfortunately, and then he got to be vice captain.
Well, if you play for Birmingham City, I suppose that actually makes you one of the senior pros, doesn't it? Even at your age, I think
Yeah,
so. So
obviously.
it was so. In terms of playing for Montserrat, it was Lee Bowyer who contacted you about that, was it?
So I was getting contacted before by a fella, I'm not too sure of his name, but obviously because I'm in a relationship with Lee and also Lyle as well.
Right, he was at Birmingham as well.
When Lyle came to Birmingham, Lyle mentioned it to me, and the more I played with Lyle and I seen his qualities, I was obviously getting closer with him. So I always spoke to him and kept it in my mind. But when Lee went for the job, he spoke to me, and I knew that him joining, the quality of the team would be much better. The training would be much better, and obviously it would just be a lot more professional. So I was happy to go. And before I was going, I asked what players would be joining, and a main player for me, Gerald Dorset. He's a good friend of mine. We're the same age, and we play together in the team. He's a new recruit as well. I like the connection that we have, so I was happy to come and join the team. And since me coming, it's really improved, as you said. We've been winning more games, playing good football as well. And every time I go to the camps, I think I take a lot from it.
It's a young team as well. Those of us who've been watching the team for a while, it's been
Yeah,
the core has been the same for many years now,
yeah.
centered around Lyle and Comleys and the others. And all of a sudden, when Lee Bowyer came in, he seemed to take about 10 years off the average age of the team, and it's a young
Yeah,
team now.
exactly. But I think a good thing is though, he still has them older players. He still has them older players around, and they keep us on our toes, and obviously they bring that encouragement and experience as well. So it's a good mix of young players and old players.
Yeah. One of
Yeah.
the things I noticed in those games is the tactics seems to change.
Yeah,
In the first games, you were being run ragged a bit, if I may say so. I think when you had a really, really young team out for one of the early games, lost 3-0. But then when
yeah,
you played the return leg back in Montserrat, it looked like a different team. All of a
yeah.
sudden, you were completely in control of the team. Was that the manager saying, "Well, we can't play like this now. We've got to"?
It was definitely the manager's tactics, and also going into the game, I think we gave them a bit too much respect. Like I don't know how like the games went in the previous years, but when we was playing against them, we was like sitting off, not pressing them, letting them play in our half, and it just didn't suit us. So in the second game, we changed the tactics, and you could clearly see that we was the better team in the game, which is the reason why we won the game. And I know that Lee's like that. Like he really looks into the analysis of things, and he gets the results when we really look into it.
It's 2 wins in a row, which is a brilliant end. Then you've got World Cup. Then you've got later this year. You've got Nations League again.
Yeah.
The next tournament comes up, slightly easier draw this time, I think, for the Nations League. But the two big games, obviously, is the World Cup.
Mm,
World Cup doesn't come around too often, and the thing about the World Cup qualifiers is the draw is different. You get drawn against the top teams.
mm,
So this time you've got Panama, who actually qualified for the World Cup
mm.
in 2018. So they're a big team. I think they're third ranked in the CONCACAF region. Have you actually talked with any of the other squad or the manager about the scale of the task you're facing with a team like Panama?
I did go to a Spain camp, to Benidorm, but obviously I missed the previous one to Marbella. But in Benidorm, when we played 2 games in Benidorm and we got 2 good results. But the way we was playing was to get ready for the Panama game coming up. So we done some video on them, and then obviously we worked on it in training. We was doing 2 sessions a day, building up some fitness as well, and just getting ready for the game. And we was working on tactics from very early. So I think the boys have been working on tactics in Marbella, which I missed out on, and they're currently in Miami now. So I think they'll be working on the tactics and making sure we're ready for them games. But obviously we know they've got some good players, and obviously we know they're good ranked. But we're just gonna go into the game ready, and hopefully we come out with the results we want.
You need to beat one of them if you're going to get through to the next round, Panama or Nicaragua. Have you been preparing for Nicaragua in the same way as Panama? It must be
Yeah, of
hard to
course.
prepare for both.
They're both upcoming.
Yeah, have you say been doing the video work for both of them, for Nicaragua as well as
We only really done Panama when I was there, so I'm not sure what they did in the trips that they've been on, but I'm sure I know Lee, he would have been working on
It is
Nicaragua as well.
unusual to do these trips, and that's a big change to do
Yeah,
these trips. The previous managers always said they couldn't get the players together. They tried, but they
yeah,
needed to get released from the clubs, and the clubs were always putting demands on them. I think it might be easier for World Cup games to get the players released, but for the Nations League, it was always difficult.
yeah. But not only that as well, like the team is obviously a lot better, so it's attracting a lot of players. Like I know recently, Buffon just came, and he obviously used to play for Man United, and he has a lot of experience as well. So I don't know, he's a good player.
Who's that?
DJ Buffon.
Oh, DJ Buffon. Oh, yes, yeah, we've known about him for a long time. We always wondered when he was going to turn up because
So
he's been
exactly like
on
you can
radars for years, I think.
tell the impact that the game that we're winning games. So a lot of players want to come now, and that's mainly down to us and the manager. So hopefully we can keep attracting more players and make the team stronger.
Yeah, that's good. So, in terms of your connection to Montserrat, your connection to Montserrat is your mother, who I understand was born on the island. Can you
Yeah,
tell me how she got to England and where she is now?
my mom got to England because of my nan. So my nan obviously moved when everyone moved, and she my mom was born in Montserrat, and then they moved after. My granddad stayed there. My granddad, I think his name's Lloyd Allen. He has a big name there. And when they came, my mom came to Birmingham, and we was living in Edgbaston. I don't know if you're familiar with Birmingham.
Yeah.
We was living in Edgbaston, and I think they went back to Montserrat for a little while, obviously because my granddad was still there, and a lot of my uncles and my aunties, everyone was living there. But I don't know why. I haven't really spoke to my mum too much in depth of it, but she came back to England on her own. And when she came back to England, she was living in Quinton, where I was born, and I also have a younger brother. And then my nan eventually moved because of me being born, and um, and then we was all living in one house, like just like simple beginnings, all helping each other. And then as I started to grow up, I started to play football, and I started to fall in love with playing football, and then that's why I am where I am today. But um, I think a big part of me being where I am is my mom moving to England because obviously I know some people in Montserrat, and I know football is not that big like there, as in like playing for a team. Obviously, the playing for your country is quite big there, but playing for a team, I think like England's really done me a big deal, a big favor. So yeah, just my mom, my nan. I have a lot of aunties, a lot of uncles there, and luckily I got to see some on the previous trip.
Does your brother play?
My brother used to play, but now he's just on PlayStation every day.
Oh, that's a shame. Montserrat's got a lot of brothers, Comleys, Taylors,
Exactly. Yeah.
Willocks. You know, there's a lot of brothers play for
Yeah.
Montserrat. So yeah, that's how Montserrat builds its team. If it picks up a player, it gets the siblings in as well.
Yeah.
So I think Montserrat's the only player. I think the only team that's got two brothers in the
Yeah.
international team that's got two sets of brothers regularly playing at the moment. So that's quite good. Um, so in terms of, I mean, you're what 21? Are you
I
22?
just turned 22.
So 22. So to start playing international football at 22, that's young. A lot of the players who've signed for who've opted to play for Montserrat in the past have done so when they're more established, because
Mm,
obviously their club career always takes priority. That you're trying to build a career when you're young, and
yeah.
a lot of the players come in later. To come in at the age of 22, and quite a few of you coming in at this age now, it looks to me like Montserrat's going to have the core of a very good side for a very long time. I mean, you could be playing in 15 years' time if you want to.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
players, if you look at some of the older players now, they're all well into their 30s and still playing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
do you see yourself now as potentially an established international, turning up for a long time? You make a lot of
yeah,
people happy, I think, if you do.
yeah. Of course, like obviously playing for your country is it's a big deal. It's a big fortune. And not everyone can obviously say they play for their country. So I think I'll be playing for my country a long time, and hopefully we get rewarded and we get some we get a lot of wins and we get the rankings up. I want to say hello to my nan. Her name's Pauline Humphrey. I know that she'll be really happy with me mentioning her now. I want to say hello to my mom, Sabrina Humphrey, and also all my uncles and aunts that listen to and will see this.
Well, thank you. I think that was a really interesting chat. I think that covers off everything we need to chat
Yeah,
about. I mean, good luck in the games.
yeah,
I really, really hope Montserrat gets to play in Montserrat again because we're not
yeah.
the games are being played, as you know.
I'm not sure why it got changed, but it was
Oh, it's,
supposed to be.
it's it's the problem with the ferry.
Uh, yeah,
There's too many players and media people to fly over on small aircraft,
I
and
understand.
and it's hard to do it without the ferry. So the next set of games are due to be played in October, which is the Nations League,
Yeah.
and they'll have the same problem again. It depends if the ferry's running. Although when you played before, I think you flew over both ways, didn't you? You didn't come on the ferry last time.
We got the ferry there. We got the plane back.
You got ferry there playing back. Yeah, there was two teams coming over. I think the media and everyone is bigger as well for the World Cup, so
Yeah.
it's more people to shift. But that's what happens. I mean, previously Montserrat was playing overseas because of COVID, um,
Yeah.
but now it's just problems with the ferry. It's not the easiest place to get to, and particularly when you're trying to shift large groups of people. But hopefully you'll be back in Montserrat for October,
Yeah.
when the next fixtures are due. It will be sad if you're playing for Montserrat and you don't actually get to play here.
Yeah,
So you've
exactly.
just done one trip so far. Is it your one trip to Montserrat was those two games?
One trip to Montserrat, yeah.
Yeah. And did you catch up with your family when you were here?
When I was in Montserrat,
Yeah.
I caught they all came to watch the game. And then after that, we went by the beach. You know where everyone goes?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what the name is. I don't know if you're
It's probably
familiar.
Little Bay. It's
Little
the one with
Bear.
the bars. Yeah.
We all went there, the whole team, my family. So it was a good vibe.
Yeah.
And
Great.
obviously we won both games, so it was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. A lot of goals as well. So
Yeah.
we need to get you back on the island. So for your family's benefit as well as the team's benefit as well. Montserrat wins when it's at home. It's
Yeah,
got a good
exactly.
record at home, so we need to get back at home. So anyway, thanks for that. Thanks for doing the interview.
Yeah.
And good luck with the games. And let's hope you get back.
All right. Thank you, Craig. See you soon.
Yeah.